Journalist Isabel Oakeshott has sparked a firestorm with her recent public criticism of Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party. Her bold remarks during a live television confrontation, in which she accused Starmer of forcing Angela Rayner to be his mistress, have ignited a heated debate about his leadership and the growing disconnect between him and the electorate. Oakeshott, known for her fearless approach, has once again positioned herself at the center of political controversy. Did you know that over 95% of our viewers aren't subscribed to the channel? We totally get it, life gets busy, and sometimes it's easy to forget. But here's the thing, subscribing is completely free, and it really helps us keep creating the content you enjoy. So, why not hit that subscribe button and join our community? It only takes a second, but it makes a world of difference to us. Thank you for your support. Keir Starmer is facing growing criticism over his leadership, with some questioning whether he truly understands the struggles of everyday Britons. His recent policy decisions have sparked backlash, leaving many feeling betrayed, particularly in Scotland, where the Scottish National Party, SNP, has gained significant ground in recent months. One of the most outspoken critics of Starmer's leadership is journalist Isabel Oakeshott, who has accused him of becoming detached from the realities faced by ordinary people. She argues that, rather than engaging with working-class voters and addressing their concerns, Starmer appears to be enjoying the privileges of power, spending time in elite circles and benefiting from VIP treatment. This, she claims, has alienated a large section of the public, particularly those struggling with rising living costs, stagnant wages, and the lack of meaningful government support. Her comments have resonated with voters who once saw Starmer as a champion for their causes but now feel abandoned. Many expected him to take decisive action to protect the most vulnerable, yet they argue that his leadership has failed to deliver on those expectations. A leader under fire for broken promises. Central to Oakeshott's criticism is Starmer's handling of key social and economic issues, particularly energy bills and winter fuel payments. She has highlighted the fact that, despite his campaign promises to lower energy costs, prices have continued to soar under his watch. With millions of households struggling to afford heating during the cold months, Starmer's perceived inaction has led to mounting frustration. Adding to the controversy, Oakeshott has attacked Starmer for cutting vital support for pensioners, a decision that has provoked widespread public anger. Many elderly citizens, already facing financial hardships, feel abandoned by a leader they once believed would prioritize their needs. In a scathing critique, Oakeshott directly questioned his ability to connect with ordinary people, asking, "Does he even understand why people treat him with such contempt?" Her words underscore the growing divide between Starmer's rhetoric and the harsh realities faced by British families. Critics argue that, while he presents himself as a man of the people, his actions tell a different story. An authoritarian leadership style. Oakeshott's criticisms of Starmer extend beyond policy failures and delve into concerns about his leadership style. She has repeatedly voiced concerns about what she perceives as an increasingly authoritarian approach within the Labour Party. One of her key grievances is his crackdown on internal dissent. She pointed to his decision to expel 7 Labour MPs who voted against Conservative-led benefit cuts, an act she believes exposes his unwillingness to tolerate opposition within his own party. To many, this move contradicts his claims of being different from the Tories. Instead of fostering open debate, Oakeshott argues, Starmer is suppressing voices that challenge his leadership. This, she suggests, raises important questions about his broader governance style. If he cannot tolerate criticism within his own ranks, what does that say about his ability to lead the country? Oakeshott has warned that Labour members who step out of line risk being cast aside, a stance she finds deeply troubling. The question of transparency. Beyond policy and leadership, Oakeshott has also raised suspicions about Starmer's transparency. She has speculated that there may be undisclosed aspects of his past, potentially tied to family connections or personal relationships, that could, if revealed, change public perception. Although she has not provided concrete evidence to support these claims, she argues that full transparency is essential for any political leader. For Oakeshott, the public has a right to know whether those in power have conflicts of interest or hidden influences shaping their decisions. She frames her calls for greater openness as part of her commitment to holding politicians accountable. Her remarks add to a growing sentiment among some voters that Starmer has not been fully forthcoming about his background and motivations. While these suspicions remain speculative, they contribute to a broader sense of unease about his leadership. A divisive stance on immigration. Among the many contentious issues Oakeshott has addressed, Starmer's stance on immigration has been one of the most hotly debated. She has criticized his approach as weak and insufficient, calling for stronger action to tackle illegal immigration and tighten border controls. Public frustration over immigration policy has been rising, with many feeling that politicians have failed to address the issue effectively. Oakeshott's stance taps into this growing dissatisfaction, particularly among voters who believe that the government's approach has been too lenient. For these voters, Starmer's failure to implement tougher measures has fueled doubts about his ability to handle national security and border control. By contrast, Oakeshott presents herself as a voice for those who feel ignored by the political elite. A polarizing figure. Despite her strong critiques, Oakeshott is not without controversy herself. While many admire her for her fearless journalism and willingness to challenge authority, others accuse her of being overly aggressive and sensationalist. Her confrontational style has divided public opinion. Supporters see her as a much-needed watchdog, holding politicians to account in a time when trust in government is at an all-time low. Detractors, however, argue that her approach is more about grabbing headlines than fostering constructive debate. Regardless of where one stands on Oakeshott's views, her influence cannot be denied. She has played a significant role in shaping the national conversation about Starmer's leadership and the future of the Labour Party. As the political landscape continues to shift, her critiques will likely remain a key point of debate. For Starmer, the challenge is clear: can he bridge the gap between his promises and the expectations of the public? Or will he continue to face mounting dissatisfaction from those who once saw him as a beacon of change? One thing is certain: Oakeshott isn't backing down.